I'm going to freak out. Why? Because I get heavily invested in these stories, which is bad considering they always just vanish. They just stop being updated, and it's like, well,
Hey, yo, what up? My name is Mills, and this is my intro.
hello, 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 everyone. I kind of hate how I always have to do the whole like thing every time I say hello, but here we are. So, hi. Um, the support on these Naruto videos have been insane, so I figured why not, do another one as well as I've read so much fan fiction, so might as well keep talking about the fan fiction. As well as after I'm done talking about this, I want to talk about what are my future plans for this type of series that involves me talking about Naruto fan fiction, everything like that. So, first, I want to touch on the first story I want to touch on is Legacy Undone. We talked about it previously in my previous video. There'll be like a thing up in this corner that shows you to click on that video. I feel like I kind of undersold it. Like I when I was editing that video, I undersold how good of a story this is, and it's still getting updated. I think it updated like a day or two after I posted that, and I feel like I have to talk about it more because I forgot so many things. Like, okay, so we were talking about how general gist of the story, in case anyone is not going to go look at the old video, but general gist of Legacy Undone is the entire world has basically gone to shit. Toby and Madara, or Obito and Madara, they won basically. So Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, as well as a few other survivors, but they die, so they don't matter. They make a giant like seal that is time travel, basically. But the whole entire key of this is that for every step you take back in the past, it sucks your life force away. So it's like a double edged sword of like, okay, you take one step, you go back 1 day. Take 2 steps, you go back 2 days. Take 3 steps, you go back 4 days. Keeps multiplying. But also each step gets harder and harder to take because it's tucking out more and more of your life force because it's going further and further back in the past. So Sakura and Sasuke sacrifice themselves, as well as Kurama. They all sacrifice themselves to send Naruto to the past to fix this. But the monkey claw moment is that Naruto gets sent to an alternate reality where Orochimaru is a good guy, Jiraiya is dead and was never raised Naruto, or yeah, basically never raised Naruto. Jiraiya was dead, and Tsunade stayed in the village because I believe Dan is alive, and as well as a few other things. So it's very it sucks. It sucks for Naruto. Itachi's a girl, a bunch of other shit. It's a really good story. If you haven't read it, read it. But whatever I tell you is so near the end. I guess we're near the end at this point where the current story is. Near the end of the story, Sasuke and Sakura, they Naruto tries to make them act like their former selves, but they're not. They're different people because they're different realities. Sakura and Sasuke. I don't know why I just slurred that right there, but they're different realities, so they act different. They're different people. But suddenly they start acting. They not acting weird, but they start getting dreams of their former life. They start getting memories of their former life. And they start talking to each other about this, like, hey, what the hell is this? And they're always constantly seeing Naruto in these flashbacks. And they want to talk to Naruto about it, but Naruto's currently, fighting the whole entire battle I talked to you about. One of those badass fights I've talked about, as well as I cannot wait for this to happen. I don't know if it ever will happen, but so the Konoha realizing that they don't have a Jinchuriki anymore with Naruto's Nine Tails just missing. They've done exams on him and everything because I think he tells one or two people that he's from a different reality and they think he's crazy, but then they check his seal and realize, hey, the Nine Tails is missing. Hmm, this is yikes. So that's bad. So they eventually, I think they kill Son Goku, or no, they kill Roshi and seal Son Goku into Tsunade's daughter. And Naruto, being General Jinchuriki Master, he teaches her how to control or well become friends with Son Goku. Then the Five Tails. I think Five Tails. Whatever. It's the Five Tails. If it's Son Goku, it's not. I forget what the. I literally did a quiz about this. I'm pretty sure it's Son Goku. Um, so eventually he gets sucked into the seal with her because they're going to go meet Son Goku, And Son Goku, after talking with Tsunade's daughter, and they make a deal or whatever, Son Goku talks to Naruto and is like, "S- boy or kid or whatever the fuck they call Naruto. I think Ninetales is the only person who would call Naruto kid because younger Fox and everything. Says we're chakra, we can't die. He's just gonna take a while to like, or well, not they don't necessarily spell it out, but they don't say it directly, but they spell it out almost like the chakra is going to reform eventually. The Ninetales isn't dead; he's just reforming. And I'm waiting, 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 waiting for that moment. And near the end of the story, probably because we're here at the end of the story, so I guess it makes sense. Where Naruto's out of luck, like he's down and out. It's his most desperate time of measures, and he is just completely out of every trick imaginable. Backs against the wall, just about to die. And the chapter is going to end with in bold letters, like some cheeky fucking smart ass comment from Kurama going, "You really always need me, don't you?" Or like Kit, just gonna say Kit or something like that in that nature. And I'm going to freak out. Why? Because I get heavily invested in these stories, which is bad considering they always just vanish. They just stop being updated, and it's like, well, so actually, let's go to a story that is completely finished now, though. It's not incomplete, it's not being updated. It's been finished for a while. It is called Broken Hearts, Shattered Dreams. This is a story by Pudgy Poo. He did the story called Uzumaki and the Duns. I've talked about it previously in my first video where Naruto gets kicked out and goes to the Sand Village and falls in love with Tamari and all that. He gets a really cool power and all that. But anyway, okay. So Broken Hearts Shattered Dreams is basically Naruto and Sakura get together. They have a kid together. They But then Sasuke comes back to the village. And Sakura is like, "Hey, bye bye." Sakura says bye bye and does her own shit. She ditches Naruto and their kid because she's still in love with Sasuke, and that this is her rightful path or her fate or something like that. So Naruto was just there to fill the void until Sasuke came back. Really, it's just a giant like bashing of Sakura, somewhat, kind of, not really. It bashes Sakura a little bit, so Naruto kind of disappears. He does villages and stuff. I mean, he does missions and stuff for the village, but for the most part, he keeps to himself. He keeps to himself and keeps to his son. That's it. That's really it. Nobody else matters anymore. So the rest of the rookie nine team, being older, they realize this like, hey, we haven't seen Naruto in forever. We got him out of the house. So who do you send? You send the social butterfly, Ino. Ino's this way. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, future me, for having to deal with that bullshit. You send the social butterfly of to get him out of the building, and it starts a nice little like not yeah, it's a love story. A nice little like love story between trying to help Naruto overcome that that trauma of Sakura leaving him after finally getting her and stuff, and as well as Sakura, I believe, redeems herself in the end. She like becomes a nicer person. She gets to be a stepmom to her kid because really is the mom at the end of the story. And the coolest thing about this story that I will always remember, I don't remember anything about the romance, if we're being honest. I legitimately do not remember anything. The thing I remember though is Naruto. This was made before like we had really a lot of information about any of the tailed beasts or anything like that. So this guy was going off the saying like, so Naruto Seal takes chakra away from Kurama. It sucks. It combines them into one. It synchronizes them into one pool of chakra instead of two separate pools of chakra over time. So over time, this author took the route of Naruto becomes the QB. Naruto becomes that nine-tailed fox who had his own kingdom of foxes that have different tails of strength and stuff, and he becomes the king because he sucked out, or he is now the QB because he took all of the chakra and stuff. And it's really cool. It's very unique, or not unique in the sense because I'm sure there's other stories like it, but first time I thought it was really cool, and as well as I thought it was cool for the ending. Because this is how it ends. In case you guys care, spoiler alert. Because always spoiler in case you actually want to read these. Um, Naruto like doesn't age, or he ages much slower. And him and Ino, because he like bites Ino and turns her into a fox or whatever the hell they are. I forget what they're called. A fox. He bites her and turns her into like a fox. And his son is not like that. So his son ages normally. So his son goes and has his life of his own, becomes an old man, has grandkids and stuff. And as he's on his deathbed, he says, "Oh, I want to see my father." Talking to like his pet fox that has been with him since he was a kid that Naruto gave him. So the fox disappears, and his family's like, "What the hell are you talking about? You're old as hell. How would your dad be alive?" I don't know why the hell his dad wasn't, around by that point, but family falls apart, I guess. And Naruto and Ino come out of the portal and like say goodbye to his son, who I forget the name of at this point, but they say goodbye to him, and it becomes like a very sad. It's a somber ending, but it's also like he had a happy life. So with this story bashing on Sakura, I feel like it's only right to jump to a story that includes a nice little Sakura, uh, you know, raising up Sakura, especially because this is the first one shot I'm ever going to talk about. Because this is one of the only one shots I've ever read. Because I find myself, I like the longer stories. I like to get invested in the longer stories. So this story called Beautiful Day is a story about Naruto. It's a story about how Naruto, it's a really old story, but it's a story about Naruto. He is going throughout his day as Hokage and just living it like a normal day, just going through his daily routine, really embracing and enjoying every single moment of the day, trying to make it the best day imaginable. And then you find out at the end of the story that Naruto is sick. The Kyuubi's, I hate this cat. The Kyuubi's chakra has poisoned him to a point that he is getting sick and he wants to leave the village and just die by himself, so it doesn't become like, it doesn't make the leaf look weak. So he hands Sakura the title of Hokage. She becomes the sixth Hokage because or no, she becomes the seventh Hokage because at that point Tsunade would be fifth. She would hand it to Naruto at sixth. Yeah, because we all didn't know by that point Kakashi would randomly become the sixth Hokage, or maybe some people did, but I didn't. So there was that. Hi, Prince. Are you done? Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Um, continuing this, like, we're going for like a lot of like family related videos in this one. I just realized, man, I'll have to figure out a title for it that includes family. Um, Another story. It's just released, I believe. It's another finished story. Thankfully, we're going on a roll here. This is three finished stories. No, none of them are like, hey, we're stuck, not waiting for an update. This is called Blonding. It's a story that just dropped right after Boruto came out, I believe, with the whole Boruto and Naruto bashing heads and constantly fighting and being not close to one another. So this author took a route of Boruto and Naruto somehow, I forget how. I think it's during the Chunin exams where Boruto messes with the thingy on his wrist. I forget the name of it, but it's in the movies. It's in the movie Boruto. Where it sends him back in the past, or well, it doesn't send him back in the past in the movie, but it sends him and Naruto back in the past for this. And they drop right in the past of the fourth Hokage, Minatos, whatever. We're done with it. We're done. Shh, shh, shh. But they drop right into Minato's office, like his first week of being Hokage, and it's like, well, well. And then Naruto and Boruto like run, and they have like like a few tense chapters of Naruto and Boruto on the run, where Boruto really gets to see how strong and like how tough his father is to be able to survive like this. And then finally they meet up with Kushina and Minato, and Naruto gets some family time that he's never had before, as well as Boruto getting to have some grandparent time, and Naruto getting to see how like Naruto getting more family time really like pushes to him how much he has been paying too much attention to being Okage, how much more time he needs to spend with Boruto, Hinata, and Himawari. He needs to be more of a family man, which I really like. And the end of the story is like Naruto and Boruto in danger because they're slowly affecting the future by being in the past. And they have to try to they have to try to figure out a way to get out of the past so they don't fail to exist anymore. Whatever, something like that, while currently in the present, Hinata, Chikamaru, and a few others have gone to this island to try to bring them out of the past. It's a very cool story. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely should reread it soon because I read it once through. Like I was reading it as it was updating. I remember finishing it and then I never really went back, but it's in my favorites because of how good it is. So it's like I should go back and reread it, but here we are. All right, we had a good streak, but here we go. We 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 had a good streak of stories that were complete, but it couldn't last for long. We knew it couldn't last for long. So here we have a story called N of Kumo. Am I saying Kumo right? I hope I am. But basically the thing is, after Minato and Kushina seal Naruto, the Raikage, as well as his goons, for some reason are near Konoha and find him and take him to live in Kumo. And that's really general just the story. He is raised by the Raikage as N instead of like A and B. He's N, and he's really close with Yugito, and it's a very cute story as well as it. I believe it picks up like right. I'm trying to remember. It picks up around the time like you obviously get a few like chapters of introducing Naruto to Konoha and his academic life and his beginning of his genin life, but I believe this story really hits its strides when you go to when you go to the Chunin exams, and then you're like, oh, he's in Konoha, uh-oh, and people see the resemblance, and third Hokage is like, wait a minute here, and it's cool that way. I definitely need to reread it though, but I also kind of don't want to because it's incomplete and it hasn't been updated since 2014. So it's kind of like, do I really want to like build up a story just to have it end on me without any completion or like satisfaction? Because I kind of don't want to do that. But maybe one of you guys do. I do that all the time with Naruto Genesis of the Nindo. I it's a million words long, and it has such good epic moments that I constantly go back and reread it because I don't know. I just enjoy torturing myself. And finally, we're gonna talk about something different. Where in the fact of I read this story. It's called Silent Night. It's a story about the Rain Village, like the Rain trio of Nagato, Yahiko, and Konin. Yeah, I believe that's the three. They have a fourth member, Naruto, the ghost, and he has all these special abilities and stuff. He's got like an apprentice vampire who's like madly in love with him and stuff. It's a very cool story. And then they go like he's from the darkness, like like there's the land of fire, the land of wind. There's a land of darkness, and that is originally where Naruto's character is from. It's very cool seeing like all of his powers that he has from it. He can like blend in the shadows and stuff, and it's very like the the person knows how to write very well. I just stopped reading it because it again, this is my own opinion. It forced or not forced, but Kushina fell in love with Naruto, and I don't care if they're not related in this story because Kushina and Minato are not Naruto's kids or not Naruto's parents in the story. So Naruto is just two random people, or yeah, Naruto is just two random people's kid, but he does grow up and is a lot older than Kushina and Naruto. I think he's like 30 while they're 17 or so, something like that. He's 40, maybe 50. Either way, Kushina falls in love with him, and then I stopped reading it right when he actually accepts her as like part of his harem. And I was like, well, I mean, this is a really cool story, but I don't know. Maybe I should give it another try because it is complete. It's 100% complete, and I would be curious to see where it went from where I stopped reading because there was a whole like Donzo was trying to like assassinate Naruto, I believe, because the Land of the Fire and Konoha are what matters most to him, as well as I think he wasn't on the best terms with the third Hokage and Tsunade, or wait, or Minato, I believe either. No, yeah, he wasn't on good terms with Minato either, I believe. I forget who's the leader at the time. I'm pretty sure it's the Rokage. Minato is like a foot soldier who's really overpowered, but he's not on good terms with him. Jiraiya, he's not on good terms with them. He's also not on good terms with the Rain like trio. Well, Yahiko dies, so it's really Nagato and Conan. Or I think Yahiko dies. Maybe that's the change Naruto does here, where Naruto saves Yahiko. Maybe? Ooh, I forget. But either way, they kind of have a bickerment because Naruto goes off and does his own thing while they start Akatsuki, and they really wanted Naruto to join Akatsuki, but he says no, and that I think that's a conflict that probably is the final conflict too, if anything. So it's a very good story. Someone should read it and tell me if I should pick it back up. And one more final thing. We're not going 37 minutes like usual. I quickened up my pace here a little bit. Also, I think I have less stories than usual. So a plan for the future is I want to well, obviously I have so many, like I think I have 3 or 4 more stories I have to talk about. Or not have to talk about, but I want to talk about because Axel has Axel has yeah, I think 2 or 3 that Axel has told me about that I should read, as well as there was another person who told me to read Protector of the Senju or Legacy of the Senju, where like Tsunade and Minato are Naruto's parents or something like that. I forget. Either way, I think I'm gonna read those and do like a viewer suggestion video where I read the things that have been suggested to me, and I feel like that would be a fun video. But besides that, I kind of have no other plans for this series because I don't know what I want to do. Like, what should I do next? Should I do like uh a a video where I read stories that I specifically know I have like prejudice against, like Naruto with the Sharingan, Naruto with the Rinnegan? Should I do stories like that I immediately just like I won't even read once I see it in the description? Should I read stories like that and like give my honest opinion if it changes my prejudice against them? Or should we just continue going with this where I look for stories that naturally fall in line with my interests and keep talking about them? I'm game for whatever because I feel like no matter what, it would be a very cool experience to see whether or not my prejudice changed. Or am I using that correctly? Wait a minute. Am I prejudice? Is an assumption or opinion about someone simply based on that person? Yeah, okay. I mean, not really person, but idea. I'm prejudiced against an idea, I guess. Not really. Not really person. I'm not going to judge anyone if they like a specific idea. I'm just going to say, no, not for me. But that'll be it. We've surprisingly I got done before 30 minutes. We're getting there. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. And I don't know, I'm really bad at showing myself out. But if you guys enjoyed, definitely tell me in the comments have you read anything that I've suggested? Have you enjoyed them? Or what? As well as obviously always give me story ideas if you have any other stories that you would like me to read, because I would love to read any and all stories that you have suggestions for. As well as really just have a good day, night, weekend, weekday, week, whatever the hell you're watching this on. And yeah, that'll be it for now, guys. So I'm gonna go. Bye.